Dwight Yorke has been crying yet again about why he not getting these managerial jobs and why someone as bad as Michael Beale getting these managerial jobs at massive clubs. Well, welcome back to Fog Football, and you know what? We've bashed Michael Beale over the years, I guess you could say, more recent years, especially as he's landed another big job in Sunderland. I mean, Sunderland's a decent sized job, right? You know, and in terms of England, they're nowhere near a top club. I mean, I'm sorry to burst anyone's bubble. They're not. They're in the Championship, and I get it, right? Just because you're in the Championship doesn't automatically mean you're a Diddy club. Like when Rangers were in the Scottish Championship doesn't mean they're a Diddy club, right? For example, I mean, you've got Newcastle, and if you're, Newcastle got the Saudi money. They're in Champions League football, but Sunderland's the team with all the trophies. You know, you would get laughed at for saying Sunderland's a bigger club than Newcastle, but what's it based on? Is it based on your stature right now in 2024, or is it on your trophy count? At the end of the day, you've got to look at these things. And Sunderland, right, Michael Beale, let's just say big club, decent sized club in England, big club, whatever. Dwight Yorke is crying, and he's saying it's completely unfair that Michael Beale has in fact got the job. He says he's baffled that ex-Rangers boss Michael Beale keeps getting the job, says Man United a legend. He says it's unfair. Well, you know what, Dwight Yorke? No, I would also label as unfair the fact that you had a child and you completely and utterly bailed on your child. That's unfair. Not a manager getting another managerial job. Let's be real, right? Rangers, massive football club, right? See, going to Sunderland, massive downgrade. Let's not pretend ourselves here, right? It's not like Michael Beale has went for Rangers to like Real Madrid or like United, Liverpool. He's not. He's went to Sunderland, a mid-table championship team. And as much as I've bashed Beale in the past, you know, his win percent record at Rangers was like the best ever. And yeah, I get it, right? He didn't win a trophy. He lost every meaningful Old Firm, right? And people will argue, well, if you stick any manager in there, they'll probably come out with a similar win record percentage. Yeah, but no, Michael Beale has got that win percentage, right? We can't change that he's got that win percentage. We can't, you know, you can argue whatever you want, right? But there's been, you know, and he was there for only like a year, less than a year, right? From what, November to the end of September, start of October, that's when Michael Beale was there. So we can have odds, whatever, right? But the reality is, Michael Beale has not took a sideward step now. Maybe in the delusional eyes of English pundits and like Dwight Yorke, right? He thinks going for Rangers to Sunderland is a sideward step, or maybe he even thinks it's a step above, when in reality it's not. You're going from Rangers Football Club to Sunderland, right? And I'm not buying that Sunderland are fucking absolutely gigantic, but Dwight Yorke is absolutely greeting about it. And yeah, you know what? We see, how many times have we seen managers in England just get bounced about clubs? And I can't sit here and pretend that, you know, they're better than Michael Beale. I mean, look at Steve Bruce, Steve McLaren. You know, I do rate Graham Potter, but he gets flung about jobs as well. There's so many managers, right, that haven't really done much in terms of the game and just get flung about like top clubs in England or like, you know, mid-table Premier League teams. Dwight Yorke is just crying here. We know what he's trying to get at. He's trying to get the race card. That's exactly what he's trying to get at. But Beale, of course, he was axed in October, as we read this article. But 2 months on, he took the reins at Stadium of Light following Tony Mowbray's surprise sacking. And Yorke can't understand why Steven Gerrard's former right-hand man keeps getting jobs because the results are not overly impressive. In a swipe at the Black Cats, boss Yorke claimed he was being overlooked at the expense of Beale and Wayne Rooney, who was recently axed at Birmingham. Yorke was keen on the Aberdeen vacancy before Barry Robson was appointed and previously took charge of MacArthur FC in Australia. Well, you know, maybe Dwight Yorke should be looking at better managers or better teams to manage, because MacArthur FC in Australia is shit, right? He can bash Michael Beale all he wants, but the reality is Michael Beale went for QPR, right? Had a pretty good run, then did die off towards the end. Then he went to Rangers, and like I said, pretty good win percentage, but yeah, lost all the meaningful Old Firms, get back, and then he rightfully got sacked, absolutely rightfully got sacked, right? And then he's talking about Wayne Rooney, and again, Wayne Rooney is mince. See that spell? Wayne Rooney cannot manage, right? But Wayne Rooney, right, is simply getting into these managerial jobs because people thought he did a decent job at Derby and then alright, a decent job in the MLS, and it's like Wayne Rooney. They're getting, you know, there's a lot of managers in today's football business, in the footballing world, sorry, that are simply there for name value, right? Like their playing career it almost like gets you to overlook it, their managerial skills, because they were a good player. Now obviously there's some managers out there that, their managerial record almost backs their football. I mean, you look at Citizen Zidane, look at him at trophies he won as a manager, look at him as a player, man. Great. I mean, what I say cannot justify what he done. You look at Lampard, you look at Rooney, and you know what? I'll back Dwight Yorke. Why the fuck are they? Why do they keep getting jobs? Because they are shite. Even Frank Lampard was linked with this Rangers job. I was up in arms about it. I didn't want him, right? But let's not pretend that Michael Beale's the only guy. Like, Michael Beale has took a massive downgrade going to Sunderland from Rangers. That's the reality, right? That is the reality. We've seen Michael Beale, right, while he was at QPR, get offered the Wolves job. He rejected it. Got offered the Rangers job. He was straight up. Within a click of fingers like that. Just shows you it's not just Premier League or, the English money. Rangers are a massive football club. And at the end of the day, Michael Beale, Rangers took a punt on him. And you know what? Yeah. His Rangers run could have been a hell of a lot worse. And what I say by that is, if his win percentage thing, if he wasn't up against Ange, I think that didn't really go for him. I get it, right? He was up against Rodgers this season, so what's his excuse this season? But see, last season, yeah, I think the Rangers team, was a bit better last season. I can't deny that. But, I know he lost all the meaningful old firms, but, he did have a good win percentage. And yeah, but sometimes those things are hidden. They don't tell you the true reality. It's like Desser's this season, his actual goal scoring record, isn't the worst you'll ever see, but we've seen him on the pitch deliver shite. And he says, speaking to footy accumulators, he said, was I surprised at Michael Beale's appointment? Well, people are given chances from failed opportunity. It baffles me. He was assistant at Villa, did okay at QPR, then went to Rangers and he got sacked. Now he's at Sunderland. Here we are in the space of a year, someone and him that's got 3 or 4 jobs. You're just trying to scratch your head at how it works and what it's based on. He seems like a decent bloke. I don't know him, but I've listened to him on TV, but ultimately you need to be judged on results, right? But, base him on results then. Yeah, he lost every meaningful old firm, but Sunderland probably went, his win percentage at Rangers was good. Maybe, the players, maybe they just looked at him and went, he signed those players, it didn't work out for him. He's also went on to say, if I were to judge on his results, it's really not overly impressive, but he's got another high-profile job at Sunderland. Yeah, but Dwight Yorke, what is your overly impressive, managerial, MacArthur FC in Australia? What's that doing? Nothing. Beale began with a 3-0 thumping at home to Coventry, with the fans chanting for the return of the ex-boss Mowbray. An FA Cup exit to neighbours Newcastle was overshadowed by boardroom anger after Stadium. Sunderland Steinbar was redecorated the colours of their fiercest rivals. But Yorke reckons the boss must show up at the stadium of light. He can't understand why other bosses are not getting a crack. And he pitched himself for a similar stint if the opportunity arose. He has one trophy in the cabinet from his dugout days, the 2022 Australian Cup. But he added, it's unfair when someone like me is looking to seek an opportunity in football and you're not getting the rub of the green in that sense. He's been given another opportunity to prove himself, so we just need to wait and see. I just find it crazy that he's gotten in a situation of going to QPR, Rangers, then Sunderland. A bit like Wayne Rooney. These people are getting all these chances and I don't get how it works. We're almost getting closer to the true meaning of what he's getting there, but that's where he ended it. At the end of the day, Beale has got the Sunderland job, right? Because he managed Rangers and he went for QPR, rejected Wolves, went to Rangers. So he's obviously been high thought of him. We thought highly of Beale. We did, and it didn't work out, right? And maybe he can turn it around, even though I don't think he can with his horseshoe fucking football and all that good stuff, right? Wayne Rooney managed Derby through administration and all that shite and did an alright job. Went to America. I don't really know how he done, right? He came back and got the Birmingham job because he's got experience in that league with Derby and all that good stuff, right? You look at Frank Lampard, did the exact same thing with Derby. Got the chance at Chelsea. First season under transfer ban, pretty good. Pretty shit the next season. Everton was really underwhelming, but you know what? He kept Everton up. And even though I do not rate Lampard one single bit, his last spell at Chelsea was a 9% win ratio, but at least they've done stuff. Dwight Yorke's done nothing. MacArthur FC? What the fuck's that about? That's pish. Dwight Yorke is absolutely greeting. He's a fud. Till next time. Peace.